Hey my name is Sarah, and today's book review is on The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. First book in the Darkest Minds series. And as y'all know, I reacted to the trailer a few days ago, and now it's time to go over the book. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing a slightly red t-shirt because I took the quiz, and I'm a red. Explains a lot of things, actually. So, non-spoilers. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. It lived up to the hype, I will admit that. There were just some characters I probably would have killed off because they annoyed me so much. But don't worry, those are just like side characters. So, main character's name is Ruby, and it turns out she is one of very few children who survived a deadly plague and thus gained special abilities. And after escaping a camp that's been holding these kids for years, she meets a group of other kids who have their own special abilities, and they're trying to get to a special place that accepts kids for who they are and so forth. It's the promised land in a way. For a YA novel with kids between like the ages 10 to 17 or so, I did not expect so much action. In a way, it's like death is around every corner for these kids because they're not safe at all. I mean, this plague that's supposed to have wiped out the children population, leaving some kids around, and they get these abilities, and it's like everyone's afraid of them. Like, wow. And the ending of how this happened, I was emotional and very furious, and I wanted to set a lot of things on fire considering I'm a red. So yeah, that's as far as I can get into non-spoilers. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars, and I cannot wait for the movie because it's gonna be amazing. So yeah, bye non-spoilers. Wow, spoilers. So like I said, a plague takes out a bunch of kids, I guess, around the world, but we focus on America, of course, and we meet Ruby, who gets taken to this camp when she's 10, along with all these other scared little kids that find out that they have these abilities, and she's there for 6 years at this camp. It's like, whoa. So apparently there's what you have called the Greens, who can read your mind, the Blues, who can move things with their minds, and then we go up to the more dangerous ones, such as the Yellows, that can control electricity, fry things, something like that, walking EMPs all around. Then you have what Ruby is, an Orange, who can go into your mind. And so, I guess I could describe. No, I was about to say from the movie Push, but I don't. Maybe what they call the erasers in Push, but they can do more than that. They can Ruby. She has her special abilities as an orange, and you got other oranges that have their special abilities, but just focus on going into your mind. Now, of course, we got the Reds, who we don't see, actually, which I am really disappointed about. We don't see any Reds. They are the people that can control fire. We have firebenders, people. I was like, I didn't get to see my people. Either way. So, apparently, we have something called white noise, and it affects all these kids, but then Ruby and one other kid named Martin, who I did not like at all, who I wish would just die, they get struck by it severely to show that they're actually oranges hiding as greens. And there's this lovely lady named Kate who helps them get out, stuff, and says that there's actually a resistance group called the Children's League, and we're there to help you and stuff. Dystopian books? Y'all already have me not agreeing with, oh, we're the resistance group, we're gonna take over, we're gonna stop the evil government, that's still telling people outside that the kids that have abilities are getting rehabilitated and they're fine. Don't come looking around the giant like prison with the giant barbed wires and the security posts and everything. They're fine. They're running across the green grass, riding horseback, chasing rainbows. No. And luckily Ruby has, a little, she has the best character development I've seen from characters, because she starts like this timid little thing that thinks of herself as a monster because the cap's always telling them they're monsters. It's like, you took this little girl from her family, okay, and just from day one making them think they're monsters. It's like she's afraid of herself and what she can do and what her powers can do and everything. We got Martin in the back seat being a little ass. It's like, anyway, so Martin, and Kate meet another guy, not really important, who's part of the Children's League and everything, but he accidentally touches Ruby, and she sees his memories, and she sees what he's really like, and she's like, I'm out. Thus, running into our group of runaways. We have Sue, a little Asian girl, who's a yellow, and who meets Ruby first, because Ruby chases her like a crazy person, and Sue kind of helps her get inside a van that's nicknamed Black Betty. And so we meet the guys as well, who are blues. We have Chubbs, who's like, some might call him like a pessimist, but I call him a realist, because he's thinking of all these outcomes and he's voicing them, even though people are like, you're being so dark. I'm being realistic here, people. And you have the leader of this group named Liam, who he has the quality traits of a leader. It's just like he feels guilty too much all the time. So, and that's where we get like our first action scene, because we're getting shot at. I'm like, oh my god. It's like, oh. And of course we see Liam in action and everything. And so then we find out that they ran away from their camp. They have letters that they want to give to their parents and stuff. And thus our adventure begins looking for the Slip Kid. This legendary kid who's an orange, who can help the children and everything. Already called the Slip Kid and being like this miraculous savior, I don't trust him already, and I haven't even met him. Okay, as you can see, if I was in this world, because apparently some parents did hide their kids and everything before the government found out, and so I would probably, for the safety of my family, I'd probably just run away and lived on my own and everything. Maybe form a little group. Apparently there's tribes in this world. We got the PSF people that keep these kids prisoners. We have skip tracers and bounty hunters that hunt kids down for money. But apparently it's like, how do y'all get money if we're in the biggest, like, what's the debt ever in American history? Like, we are so much in debt. Canada and Mexico have built borders to keep us in and us out of their countries, and we got so many issues going on. How can y'all people get money and everything? And so then we have these tribes, like, we got yellow tribes, we got blue tribes and everything. We got kids of full tribes, and I'm like, wow, how can these kids make it? Well, okay, so we know that there's not many oranges around. I mean, the U.S. government has their own oranges unless they killed them off. And then we find out that the Children's League have their own oranges, but they're like a little psychotic, like Martin, who, this group is like, I don't know if it's the right word, but they're like extremists, how to try to get rid of the government that's so corrupt and everything. I would have like a mixed group of kids and stuff, as long as you're not psycho, and thus we can, like, put our talents together, both psychic power like and survival like, and we're good people. We're good. Just stay away from civilization and no one will mess with us, and unless they do find us, then just go up and everything. So Ruby starts developing feelings for Liam. I can understand he's this great leader and she kind of looks up to him and everything. So, but through this whole book until they get to East River, which is amazing how they do that because it's like a hidden radio message and stuff. I would not have thought of that. I would just been like, woo. Either ways. So we see that Ruby doesn't like getting touched by people because, she can see glimpses into their memories. But what she can actually do is more horrifying to her that she doesn't want to develop any feelings, like emotional wise. But then, she believes that she can protect this group with what she can do, but even though she has no control over her powers. And they still believe she's a green because she's been wearing the uniform that's all green, right? Until they do get captured by these tracers, right? By who they call Lady Jane. I thought this woman would be like a big antagonist since, Liam and Chubbs are always talking about a Lady Jane and everything. But we just get to meet her, and that's it. I'm like, we've been running from all these adults and this one woman, and that's it. It's like, But Ruby does save the group by using her powers, and she freaks out that they're gonna get rid of her because they find out that she's a monster and everything, and they're even talking about, we gotta leave her, we can't take her with her. And Ruby's freaking out thinking, it's okay, Chubbs, I'll leave. And Chubbs and Liam are like, we were talking about Black Betty, she's broken down and everything, but you love me and all this stuff. We left the radio on so you would know that we didn't abandon you. So they find out she's an orange, right? And it's we get these interesting flashbacks that I would say perfectly structure-wise, connected to the story. It's we get this kind of flashback and then that smoothly transitions back into the present. So we find out that Ruby, oh my god, she eventually tells Liam the truth about how she got caught by the PSF people because her ability, when she couldn't control it, and now she can, is to erase memories. I mean, apparently Martin, little ass, could influence emotions on people, making them believe it was their emotions. And Ruby told early on how when they still had oranges, how dangerous they were with always putting these images in the soldiers' minds and everything. Well, Ruby, she can erase things. So, not all yellows have their own special abilities, I guess, in this category. And so, her parents were arguing. She was afraid. She's a little girl, right? And it's the night before her birthday and everything. And her parents go to sleep, and she goes back to their room, and she kisses them goodnight and everything. And she wakes up. Her mom has no clue who she is. Her dad, when he gets there, has no clue who she is. She accidentally erased herself out of their memories. And that is why she's afraid of touching people. Because she also actually did that to a friend that she had in the camp. And it's ma. So she also wants to go see the Slip Kid because finding out he's an orange and everything, he can probably teach her how to use her abilities. We get to the camp eventually. We meet the so glorious Slip Kid. So apparently we still have a president in this broken America. President Gray, right? Well, he had a kid who was the first resident at Ruby's prison. His name is Clancy Gray. He's an orange. And he runs the camp that all the kids are running away to. I'm distrusting people already in this book who hold some type of significant power of sorts over groups. So I already knew Clancy was a douche, and that's the kindest word I'll give him. Ass seems a little too soft. Douche seems next level. Forgive me for that, but it's he takes a special interest in Ruby. He's always staring at Ruby everywhere she goes and everything. I'm get away from me, you freak. And so Sue finds her cousin, and all the little kids have to do their studies, but everyone that's older are assigned duties. Liam is put on guard duty for like 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. and that's when everyone gets ready to do their day. He's going to bed and stuff, so he's staying away from Ruby. And Clancy's promising to teach Ruby how to use her powers because he's an orange, she's an orange. They belong together. It's like, he does train her, but he's like slowly influencing her how to be like this orange. Like, she's getting into other kids' heads, tricking them to do these things and all this stuff. I'm like, you're turning into one of the oranges that Clancy said are being the bad oranges, the ones that are working for the, the Children's League and who still work for the government and stuff. We found out what happened to all the Reds. Apparently, they're like in this project that the president set up, so he's Clancy, maneuvered away, telling them, like, you have somewhere to go after this is all over, blah, blah, blah. It's like, we know something's fishy, like when he doesn't want people to leave for their own tribes. Sue leaves to go to California with her cousin. Sad. And then he just starts showing his true colors and being a major douche. And it's like... And then he uses abilities on Ruby. And I'm with Liam. Let's get the hell out of here. Chubbs is already in the stuff. And it's like... Clancy knows they're leaving. And it just gets worse from there. I mean, Liam gets beat up. Clancy uses another girl to trick Ruby to come over because he doesn't know how to use her abilities. And his abilities is like to freeze people and stuff. Like, he tells them, like, in their minds that, like, stop, or you're solid as rock, or whatever the crap he does, and they can't move at all. Ruby's paralyzed, and then the camp gets attacked. And Clancy knows this is gonna happen, but he's expecting his Reds to show up. Well, that doesn't happen because Daddy Gray is like, someone tipped him off about Project Jamboree or whatever it's called, and this Reds and everything. It's like, Clancy, you son of a bitch. Thankfully, Chubb saves her. The three regroup and everything, and they just gotta go deliver this letter, and they're gonna regroup and everything. And please go get Sue because we need the whole band together. The ending, I was like, you gotta be kidding me, because you think it gets bad? No, like the last 10 to 12 pages, they deliver one of Chubb's and Liam had a friend named Jack in their camp. He got killed and everything. But Ruby was like, y'all should probably read the letters just in case. I'm like, no, it's family. It's for the family. It's all important and blah, blah, blah. They find Jack's dad. And because of the letter, Chubbs gets shot by Jack's daddy. And from the very beginning, Ruby kept a panic button Kate gave them, saying, oh, it won't work unless you click the button. Well, here's Chubbs bleeding everywhere. Liam's freaking out, trying to get their stolen vehicle running. And she pushes the button, and there's like 10 seconds later, the Children's League are on them. And now Liam, Chubbs, and Ruby are taken by the Children's League. We see Martin the ass again, but Ruby, cleans up his personality, showing how valuable she is to the League. And Kate's all like, interesting. There goes with the friendly lady thing. And to promise that she'll work with the Children's League, she convinces them to let Liam go. And in doing so, she erases herself from his memories. And then he leaves. And now she and wherever Chubbs is now part of the Children's League. And that's where it ends. Ooh. If I was an orange, and I'm not an orange, but if I was an orange and I was in that situation, I would have been like in Liam's head going, you shall forget everything about me for 7 days. and on that, and like, the first hour of the 8th day, you shall remember everything, and you shall find a way to take down the Child's League and rescue us. But I am not an orange. I am a red, so I would burn the joint down because I don't like the Children's League. I don't like the government that's putting all the kids in camps. I hate Clancy, who should burn. As you can see, I have so many emotions that require fire to cleanse it all. So that's how The Darkest Minds ends. Oh, and by the way, Chubbs mentions, the darkest minds are always hiding behind the innocent faces. So, yay, we get a reference. And it took me, a couple of times when we saw the symbols on the PSF soldiers, how they had, the same symbol right here. It took me a while to realize what this is. I might be completely wrong for those of you who are like, Sarah, that's not what it is. But is it me, or does this look like a trident? Is this a trident? Because the kids that were underneath the flag of the tridents, we got the power of the gods. So 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. A lot more than what I expected in a YA novel. Best character development I have seen thus far. I've probably seen some others, but I extremely liked this one. How Ruby started out as the scared little child, and now she's all, you think you can control me, but no, I will be the one in control of myself. It's I can't wait for the movie, people. I seriously can't wait for the movie. It's going to be amazing. I hope it's amazing. I hope it's really faithful to this book, because this book was really amazing. And as you can see, there's a little empty space right there, but that book next to it, I'm going to get my hands on the second book, and I want to know what happens, because I want to see Clancy die a most gruesome, painful death. And for Liam to get his memories back and realize that Ruby needs help, and forms an underground group of kids who are going to take down the Children's League, because apparently I don't like them. And how the disease began, because like I said, instead of wiped out the kids all over America, majority of the kids in the world, I guess, not just America. So we got kids on the other side of the planet that has powers. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed this book. So, yeah. The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. First in the Darkest Minds trilogy. My name is Sarah, and